happily ever after, undercover. He tells me this one morning while he butters our toast and she prepares the espresso. We're at the end of our dock. I say to him, it's the first sunny morning in months, and what do you mean we'll live happily ever after, undercover? Just as I'm about to sink my teeth into a slice of toast, an adder slithers up my right leg. I am not at all startled, but I jump. To the left, he drops his toast to the right, onto the dock. The toast burns a hole right through the dock. We watch it smolder. She says to me, but what about the adder? I say to her, don't worry, it's domesticated. But what about the toast? We have no more bread. He cries, unstoppable tears. The adder's at my jugular preparing for a big bite, and I'm thinking, no, this can't be. We're gonna live happily ever after, undercover. The waters rises. Above the dock, we're knee-deep. We're waist-deep. I can't move. It's his tears, she says. It's his tears, creating a flood. Oh, the adder's poised to strike him. What the hell? We'll starve anyway. And then I wake.
I hope I'm not late or early. That would be terrible, right? It's easy to forget your income, the details of income. You know how it is. Regular jobs, distractions, holidays, dates. And before you know it, you've lost a few 50s, here and there. So, I was saying. What was I saying?
The loss of a few 50s here and there?
Yeah, exactly my point. Cartooning isn't what you might call a regular job providing a regular paycheck.
Sugar.
3, please. So, I was saying, cartooning. It's an unreliable source of income.
You ought to watch
Fine.
it. It's dangerous, Mr. Reddington.
What? Comic books?
Sugar. I'm afraid we're talking about something more significant than a few 50s here and there. $3,222.77 to be precise. That leaves you a tax owing, including late charges of $200.03, which you may now remit via personal check made payable to the Internal Revenue Service.
What did you say your name was? McMaster, Central Office or something?
George McAlpin, Manhattan District Internal Revenue Supervisor.
Yeah, you did say that. You did. It's just, you see, nothing like this has ever happened to me before. And I'm a bit confused, so maybe if you could slow down and...
If you prefer, I can refer the matter to my own supervisor. He's responsible for the entire Northeast sector. He's based in Boston, but should get down to New York sometime next month. Of course, that would mean you're accruing an additional 30 days or $12.23 in interest and late charges.
Isn't it a little weird, a tax collector doing business in a dive on Mulberry Street?
Washington prefers its inspectors to be mobile. No offices, no overhead. We're saving taxpayers' dollars, Mr. Reddington. You, on the other hand, are so irresponsible as to lose track of your own income. Have you taken many holidays over the last 2 years?
Okay, listen. I'm just a guy who draws comics. I admit I don't pay the most attention at tax time. I give what I think you're owed, that's all. But I don't want any trouble. I don't want any visits from supervisors, and I certainly don't want anybody poking into my vacation preferences. So, do I make the check payable to you?
Are you attempting to bribe an employee of the federal government?
Hey,
because if you are, Mr. Reddington, I shall have to report you.
Yeah? Who are you going to report me to?
To another department.
Which department, exactly?
The appropriate department. Would you like me to take this further? Would you like me to make a telephone call?
Please, Mr. McAlpin, I wasn't trying to bribe you.
Make your check payable to the Internal Revenue Service, $200.03. The United States government thanks you for your custom.
5 days. I've had 5 days in the last 2 years. If you're so interested.
That's not much of a distraction, is it? Keep track of your money, Mr. Reddington. You'll never know when you'll need it. Or when the Internal Revenue will need it.
Something about your laugh catches my attention. I know I've heard it before. So distinct, halting, and oddly incomplete. Stops me in my tracks outside the cafe. Look inside. I see you laughing. There's 2 other men. Whispers, backslapping, shoulder touching. And then it occurs to me who you are. Richard's friend. Martha's Vineyard, that soccer game. You in goal, bruised, bullied, and beaten by the others, refusing to concede a point. Bloody nose, bandaged head, incredible display of nerve. And so I think, yes, this must be the man for the job. I follow you for days.
Yeah, I noticed. Took you 3 days just to say hello. I was beginning to think you were shy or a cop. But I was never scared or uncertain. I was thrilled. I was thrilled to be followed.
Well, it was me, actually, who remembered your name once you said it. Herbert's not good with names. He's good with port. I can't abide this stuff. It's absolutely vile. Yes, it was the vineyard, wasn't it? You were such a peculiar young man, Tom. I mean, was it really necessary to take such a beating? And then to appear to enjoy all that blood and swelling? Well, I never. I suppose it's rude to say so. Oh, I don't know. Is it rude? After all, it was such a long while ago. Has Herbert told you? I'm very ill, Tom. I'm terminal, in fact.
Emily, please. Tom doesn't need to hear this.
Yes, he does. Oh, I've lost my hair, Tom. It's not the first thing I've lost, and it certainly won't be the last. But I did get a turban in the process. Turbans are fantastic things, luxurious and sinister. Of course, I could never justify wearing one before this. They're so, I don't know, Alibaba.
Oh, you look magnificent, Mrs. Greenleaf.
You're sweet. Can I interest you in some port?
Well, I...
You won't catch it. It's my kind of drinking, Tom. Thank you. What was it you said you did these days, Tom?
Oh, I write copy for an advertising agency.
How interesting. Well, it's not interesting, is it? But it's something.
It's a living.
I must apologize for my wife's bluntness. She doesn't mean anything about it.
I appreciate the bluntness. It hits the mark every time.
What was it you said you did these days, Tom? Honestly, the mind wanders.
Oh, I'm a reporter for the Associated Press.
Emily and I are terribly concerned for Richard. We're concerned for his safety.
Is he in danger?
Oh, we don't know. But that's not the point. Does our son have to be in danger
I'd
for
like
us
to
to be
see
concerned
Richard
for
again
his
before
safety?
I pop my claws.
There really is a need for vulgarity, Emily.
I'm sure Tom is comfortable with my vulgarity. Aren't you, Tom?
I don't mind. I'm easy.
See, he's easy. Let's all be easy. Where's your office, Tom? Midtown? Downtown?
General Electric headquarters, but being a freezer salesman, I'm mostly door to door.
We last had a letter from Richard 2 months ago.
Oh, it's a telegram, actually. Dear Mom and Dad, stop. I'm never coming home. Stop. I'm never coming home.
Don't be melodramatic, Emily. Richard made it quite clear he had no intentions on returning home to assume his duties in the family shipyard.
Could you imagine why not, Tom? The lure of the docks, the salt water, the long, lonely hours. My hair is falling out into the sea, Tom.
Richard doesn't know his mother's unwell.
Dying. Say it. He doesn't know his mother's about to drop dead. More port, Tom?
I wouldn't mind, thank you.
I really can't fathom how anybody can drink the stuff. Here you are, Tom. Oh, who would have guessed it? Tom Ripley, a military man. I'm so proud.
I'm a pharmacist, Mrs. Greenleaf, not a soldier.
Of course you are. Else I'm so silly. Forgive me, I'm dying.
We have a proposition for you, Tom.
Sounds serious.
It's Herbert's proposition, so it's bound to be serious, earthbound, humorless.
Emily, for God's sake, will you please? I'd like you to. That is, Emily and I would like you to. Would you consider taking a trip to Italy on our behalf, Tom? Would you try and convince Richard to come home? We'll pay all your travel expenses and provide a generous stipend for, let's say, 2 months. And if it should become necessary for you to stay a bit longer, well then, I'm sure we could come to an agreement for further remuneration.
I see.
And it goes without saying we'll provide first-class passage across the Atlantic. No expense will be spared, Tom.
Oh, water. I see.
I would be, that is, Emily and I, would be eternally grateful should you take up our proposition.
Richard gave me a black eye that day in goal. I've always admired him. I'd like to do the right thing by you, Mr. Greenleaf. I'll go to Italy. I'll send Richard home.
God bless you, Tom.
God bless you, Tom.
God bless you, Tom.
Lord only knows what I might have done had you not gallantly turned round that corner with your big, bold umbrella.
Never mind, Emily, never mind. Herbert's here.
River of tears, the waters rise.
Oh, Tom, you've not been attending those Baptist services again, have you?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Some boys are entirely too lucky.
Well, I am doing them a favor.
Oh, can it be so hard coercing an old friend into visiting his parents?
So that's the thing. He's not an old friend, in fact. He's not an old friend at all. I met him once at Cleo de Belle's wedding. Richard made a pass at the bride. The groom took a swipe. Would have flattened poor Ricky had I not held him back. Spent the whole night nursing poor Ricky Greenleaf back to sobriety. I haven't seen him since, but his parents are convinced that I'm somebody I'm not.
Well, sweet bejesus, I were somebody tall and wealthy would mistake me for somebody I'm not. Like I said, Tommy, some boys got too much luck.
Well, the funny thing is, I remember so much about him. The way he carried himself, even when totally smashed.
The rich have a nasty habit of carrying themselves well in most situations.
It was more than that. It was like a light. Like a certainty that wouldn't be denied.
They're like racehorses, Tom. The best ones got the best genes and they ride like the
He
wind.
had an easy way with conversation, an ability to listen without even listening, and make you feel like $1,000,000 in the process. And I knew all the while I was boring him to death, but I couldn't help feel flattered. Anyway, I couldn't disappoint his parents. They put their trust in me.
Their trust fund, more like it.
Hey! Stop! Anyway, if it hadn't been me, it'd been somebody else.
Ain't that always the way? Amen. Mighty chilly evening. Mighty wet.
Yeah, but it's gonna be dry as hell at my Aunt Dottie's.
Whoops, I think you'd best drop me off on some neutral street corner well before you approach the gates of hell.
Where is it exactly you say you're going, Tom?
Montebello.
Montebello, lovely.
And where is that? Honestly, Tom, it sounds like a disease.
Italy. Blue seas, white sand, and a sun that always
You
shines.
can get that at Coney Island in July. There's no need to investigate foreign legions.
Sounds hot and sticky and stop me before I commit a cardinal sin of thought. Well, this is my stop, Tommy. Good luck with Medusa. Oh, listen, have you ever heard of a guy called George McAlpin?
McAlpin. No, can't say I have.
An extremely brawny detective from the fraud squad of the New York City Police Department dropped in to make a few inquiries. Seems this Mr. McAlpin's been using our humble tenement walk-up as a mail drop for illegal activities of the Internal Revenue kind.
Protection. You'll need all sorts of pills, Tom. That part of the world is simply not civilized.
This sounds fun.
Yeah, well, if you see him lurking in our hallway, tell him he's a fool, 'cause he ain't cashed any of his ill-gotten checks.
I'm not sure you'll find Catholic churches there, so I'll pack 2 rosaries. No, 3. And a novena card.
Aunt Dottie, I'm going to Italy. For goodness sakes, the Pope lives in Italy. Of course there are Catholic churches.
How do I know that? I've never been there. Have you ever been there?
No, Auntie, you know very well I've never been to Italy. I've never been abroad.
Well, there you have it. Propaganda. European propaganda. I really wish you'd reconsider this trip, Tom.
It's only for a couple of
A
months.
couple of months is enough time in which to contract dysentery. Or malaria. Polio, for all I know.
Don't be ridiculous, Aunt Dottie, as difficult as that must be for you.
There is unsophisticated plumbing over there, Tom. The Germans and the Japanese blew all the Allied facilities to smithereens during the war. So, for instance, the English have hired the French and the Italians to dig emergency what have you. And if the French and Italians are off digging the what have yous for the English, then who do you suppose is digging the what have yous for the Italians?
I don't know, Aunt Dottie. Probably the Africans. That sounds just about right in
Italy,
your theory.
Africa, wherever. Over there makes no difference.
They have bathrooms in Europe, and they work. I won't listen to this foolishness.
Well, Tom, listen to this foolishness. Your allowance is hereby cut off. My $30 a month, which pretty much keeps you afloat in the lazy, no-account manner to which you've grown accustomed, is no longer yours to fritter away.
Aunt Dottie, I
Be
depend
quiet, Tom. I swore to your poor parents you'd never go hungry. On your mama's deathbed, she said to me, Dottie, you watch my boy gets enough bread. That's what she said, and that's what I've always done. But you're a grown man, Tom. No, not a boy. And I'm not getting any younger.
But you...
I need what I earn.
You don't work.
I earn interest.
This is silly. My parents set up a trust fund. It's my money.
$200. That was your trust fund, and it ran out 10 years ago. Your daddy, whatever else he might have been, and Lord knows my sister loved him till it killed her, was a no-good, 2-bit schemer. But I honor your mama's memory, because she was sweetness and light personified, Tom. Anyway, your magazine job pays well enough, I suppose. And when was it you took up photography, Tom? Remind me.
But I haven't budgeted for, well, until I can get on my feet, I need every cent I can get. I mean, it's expensive living in Europe.
But I thought you said it was civilized over there. Should be easy enough finding a civilized place to live in a civilized country.
Civilization is no assurance of comfortable and expensive accommodation.
Well, my American dollars wouldn't do you any good over there. They don't use real money.
You stop saying over there like it's some. Just stop it. Just shut up. I'm sorry. Really, I'm devastated.
Tom Ripley, have you been standing there this entire time with your umbrella dripping ghastly water on my newly polished floor?
Please, Aunt Dottie, accept my deepest apologies.
It took me 12 hours and over 2 days to polish those floors, Tom Ripley. Have you no decency? You were not raised in a barn.
No, I was not raised in a barn.
You were not raised in Italy.
No, nor Italy.
You are a pig sometimes, Tom Ripley. Your mother is turning in her grave.
Oink, oink.
Now, give me that umbrella and you wait here until I get back some rags. We're going to get down on our knees and do some polishing, Tom. You stay here now. Stay.
In a variation of my dream, we're on the dock. He and she and I, except she's not who she is. She's Aunt Dottie. She's whacking the backs of my knees with the 6-foot-long umbrella. He and I, we're squinting out at the sun. We're happy, and we're laughing. But the umbrella against my legs is hot, too hot. He says, look, there are nails running along the length of the umbrella. She's furious because the nails don't draw blood. They draw water. Well, the harder she hits, the more water she draws. Get down on your knees. On your knees with me, she screams. But it's no use. The water rises, and he and I, we walk on air. We hold hands, and, well, we walk on air. But she is glued down to the dock. Her knees like coarse rope, tying her down, dragging her under. But her breath ceases. And he and I live happily ever after. With Aunt Dottie under cover. No, don't do that! Cut it out!
So hell!
No help! You understand me? No help!
Fausto, be your bud. Fausto, find good hotel up the hill. See,
There's really no need for.
Please. Fausto wants a cigarette. Please, cigarette.
All right.
Much obliged. No. Fausto, what's this cigarette? Smoking so dirty.
Yeah.
Stupendo. Fausto, thanks you. Fausto, hurry. Bye,
Well, that's my bag you've got. Hold on, please, no! Oh.
Yours, I take it?
Yes! He took off like a shot before I
No, he does 2, maybe 3 cigarette tricks a month. What have you got to say to the gentleman, Fausto?
Oh, mi dispiace, I saw it.
Aw, don't milk it, Fausto, scram.
Okay, go ahead, scram.
Just a minute. We have unfinished business. You owe me a trip to the hotel.
Si, hotel molto gentile, gratis, signor. We go, best room, receive you many beautiful women.
I was looking for a hotel, Fausto, not a brothel.
Anywhere I can get a picture of gin and tonics. Well, this heat, well, it was pretty chilly back in New York.
Oh, sure. Hey, Fausto, rouse Signor Morelli up from his stupor and tell him to fix us a picture of drinks. Lots of ice, lots of gin. I don't know what Fausto has in mind for you, but I'd recommend the Miramare. Not much of a sea breeze, but the view's pretty special.
Sounds perfect. Let me pay for the drinks.
Oh, never mind. Morelli runs the Miramare. He keeps a tab for me.
Tom Ripley.
Pleased to meet you. So you're a New Yorker.
By way of San Antonio, yes.
I'm impressed. A Texan.
Well, I was only there for a short while. My father's a diplomat, and, well, we moved houses more than I had birthdays. Honestly, I don't know where they are now. Can't keep track. Me, I settled on New York and never looked back.
It's a wise man to lose his parents along the way. Wish I could say I was wise. I'm healthy and wealthy.
Hey, 2 out of 3.
Don't I know it? My father builds boats.
Oh.
Big boats full of cherry wood and brass. God, if I never smell French polish or sea salt again, I'll die a happy man. I hate the sea.
Oh.
But wouldn't you know, I have a talent for 2 things, and one of them's sailing.
And here you are, surrounded by the sea. I can't even swim.
Funny place to choose for a holiday if you can't swim. Well, you're in the right place for a couple of lessons.
I'm not here on holiday. Would you teach me? To swim?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Been a while since I've been asked.
I could pay you.
I don't need your money, believe me. So you're not a tourist. What are you?
I'm a collector.
Taxes? Geez, I hope not. I've been paid mine in 3 years.
Art, Renaissance, sculpture, otherwise. I'm meandering through Italy.
No kidding. I paint landscapes, or I try to. I think I'm not untalented.
So, that's your other talent, if one talent's sailing. You look talented.
Hey, and you should know, being a collector. What's up with Fausto and our drinks? You think Morelli's distilling the gin?
Look, I'm happy to find Morelli myself. Really, it's no trouble.
Hey, listen, maybe you should if you don't mind. Perhaps Fausto stumbled over some more luggage. It's just over the hill.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, and tell old man Morelli I'll pay him at the end of the week. I owe him a bundle, and God knows he's good to me.
Who are you?
What?
Your name. You haven't told me your name.
Oh, right. I'm Ricky Greenleaf. Hey, and once you're settled into the
Greenleaf, I wonder if, well... no. No, well, maybe. No, it's silly. Probably a coincidence. Yes, that will be it.
Hey, I love a good coincidence. Try me.
If I were to say Martha's Vineyard, 12, 14 years ago, an early October afternoon, Indian summer, a soccer game, varsity versus junior varsity. I'm in the JV. There's an injury to the goalie,
Do I know
and
you?
I'm the only reserve. Coach says, son, all you got to do is stand in goal and defend your team's position. I stand in goal.
Did you go to
And
church?
then it happens. The varsity charge begins. 7, maybe 8 boys headed my way, and the closer they get, the taller I stand in goal, the less fear I feel. I want them to attack. The tallest striker sends a header my way, but I block the shot with my head. It sends the striker flying at me, careening me into the goalpost. I see stars, but I will not concede
I
a goal.
played center half at Chode Varsity. I don't remember this.
Miraculously, we scored. It wasn't our fault. The right wing, so shocked by the quality of the fight we put up, scored an old goal, which should have been a routine save for the goalie. We win for the first and last time.
There was one game we lost to JV, I think.
You think right, Ricky. Now think again. Think about the embarrassment of the absolute shame of handing a game to a bunch of no-hope freshmen and that goalie.
It's really not ringing any bells.
Oh, okay, well, think about this. Walking off the field, ready for the showers, ready for a harangue from the coach, ready for your girlfriend to dump you for the point guard on the basketball team, ready for your father to weep over the shame of his son, his heir, the receptacle of all his athletic talent, losing, lost, over.
I think I remember this.
Yes, you do. Now run as if your life depends on it towards that JV goal, where there's a celebration going in progress, where there's a kid being lifted, hoisted far upon his teammates' shoulders. It's the only lift he's gonna get. That's not stuck in his own shoes.
Yeah, I see him there, sure.
Yeah, you plow through that crowd of coward freshmen. You ram those suckers until the boy falls back into his own goal. And then you go to work, Ricky. You go to town. You take him by his neck.
Take him by his stupid, sweaty, disgraceful neck, and I'll raise my fist. And I punch, and I pummel until his face collapses into the dirt. And no, I'm not going to take this. No, I'm not going to take this crap. This garbage from my father. I punch, I pummel, I pulverize the kid. Pulverize the poor kid.
And that poor black and blue kid was me. Oh, Fausto, you're back, but where are the G&Ts?
Signor Morelli, he is not there. Signor Morelli, she is not there. Fausto can no explain.
I could swear it was Freddie Miles in goal that day.
Oh, I'm afraid not, Ricky. Freddie was the injured goalie. I was a substitute.
For 2 months, he's done little else but teach you how to swim and walk down the hill to the post office to collect his monthly wire payment. And now it seems he's more interested in reading maps of Greece with you than in learning the finer moves with me. There's no justice in this world, Tom. None at all.
Oh, no, it's a little late, but sorry I heard you.
You beat me to a pulp.
We made all these plans, and now, well, I'd be lucky to get him off that chair. I honestly don't know anymore. I give up.
You gave up.
I gave up.
Signor gave up.
Are you going to move off that lethargic backside anytime soon, Ricky?
So take Senior Ripley's luggage up to the house.
See you right away,
It's
buddy.
really
Right
not
away.
necessary. The mere Mari would be fine.
What's a girl got to do to get a rise out of you, Ricky Greenleaf? Tell me what's necessary, Tom. I'm sure you know. I'm all ears.
But you heard, Fausto, the Morellis have vanished. So the hotel is momentarily closed for business, and in the circumstances, it's the least I can do. I insist.
Go on, Tom. I insist.
Well, if you insist.
Oh, never mind. You've waited so long, I've changed my mind. Just Never mind.
Excellent. I'll have Marge rustle us up a couple of G&Ts.
Marge? Who's Marge? The most careful planning doesn't allow for every possibility. It's always the thing you least expect that defeats you. And that thing was her. Marge. Name like a grazing cow, mind like a shipwreck, scattered and waterlogged and always at the bottom of everything and... Well, pretty enough if you like that sort of thing. I didn't know. Well, how could I? I was not prepared. I wasn't warned. She entered the equation and then the dream started.
See? It's a piece of cake when you put your mind to it.
Oh, I look a fool. Don't I look a fool, Tom?
Oh, I don't think so. I think you look quite graceful, like Fred Astaire.
I do?
I've been trying to tell you that for months, honey.
You've never said any such thing. Has she ever said such thing,
I
Tom?
can't recall.
Aren't you too, Rich? You must have lost all your brain cells on that day trip to Naples. Or was it that weekend in Corsica?
Oh, it could have been the excursion to Verona.
Didn't we lose an awful lot of gray matter in Verona?
Very funny. I get a lousy pizza at the Miramare. He gets 3 days at the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
I'm bored. Aren't you bored, Tom?
Why do you have to ask him to verify everything?
What's for dinner? See, I didn't ask him that.
I don't know what's for dinner because I'm not cooking.
Well, go up.
Marge, baby.
My
You
treat.
don't even try it. And Fred Astaire is practically a relic, so I wouldn't be too flattered with the comparison if I were you.
I meant no harm, Marge.
Shouldn't you be moving on soon, Tom? I mean, you must have saved plenty of money for the past couple of months. Because I sure as hell haven't noticed you forking out for so much as a napkin in this place.
Marge, that's crap.
She's upset. It's perfectly understandable.
Well, then explain it to me, because I've had a pretty tough time understanding her lately.
Don't talk about me as
Ricky,
if I'm not
the
here.
house is comfortable enough for two, but that 3 is a stretch. She's right. Perhaps I've overstayed my welcome.
Oh, it's my house, not hers. You stay as long as you like.
I am in the room. Hello?
No,
No.
you two ought to spend some time together, alone. I can understand Marge's position. She wants her boyfriend's sole attention. It's only
What are you
natural.
talking about? Marge and me? Oh, we're not. It's good fun, but it's only, well, you know, we're here now, that's all.
Could you run that one by me one more time? I'm not sure I believe what I heard.
I'll go now. I'm hungry.
We're all hungry, Tom. Stay where you are. Start talking, Ricky, please, before I lose my mind.
I've been thinking.
Good. That's a start.
I mean, we spend lots of time together.
People who are involved in relationships often spend lots of time together. So
Are we
far,
in a relationship? Is that what this is?
We cook each other's meals. We sometimes share a toothbrush. I'd call that a relationship.
Okay, all right, you're right.
Thank you.
And maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't.
You're driving me crazy with all this maybe we should or shouldn't. Make up your mind.
We shouldn't.
I'll find Fausto. He owes me an Italian lesson.
You will not go. Anyways, why bother learning the language when you're just going to turn right back around on a boat to the States?
I never turn right back around.
Tom and I thought there's a sculpture tour. Well, we're planning a trip to the Greek islands.
There's a dealer I've been corresponding with for a few months now.
I've always liked the idea of an art appreciation tour.
I didn't know.
It's just one of those things that takes place at the right time.
Tom knows an excellent watercolorist in Athens, and maybe he'll give me a few lessons if he thinks I've promised.
Promise. That's a risky proposition, don't you think?
But worth the risk, don't you think?
Well, we thought we'd leave in a month's time, directly after the new year.
Richard, I wanted to tell you, I've only ever met... I'll just collect a few things and be out of your way. Fausto's at the Miramare, Tom. You still need him, that is.
Oh, Marge, don't leave like this. Oh, please come out with us.
Don't.
I can't watch her like this. It's like I stuck a knife right through her heart.
The vulnerable only become strong by learning to live with their pain. You come from Marge now. Make it that much harder for her to get along by herself when she leaves.
I thought vulnerability was an asset.
Pain is an asset. Vulnerability is what your enemies exploit.
I better see if Marge is all right.
She's fine.
Oh, I'll be back before midnight.
It's no concern of mine.
I know, I'm just saying.
I know, you're just saying.
Hey, what if I bring back a couple of Morelli's pizzas on the
I
way
like
home?
to
and
eat early.
Well, look, Tom, I don't know what to say. What to think?
I won't wait up.
Oh, come on. Not you too. Tom,
Morelli's will have a comfortable room for me. I won't need it in maybe 2-3 weeks.
please don't leave.
Marge doesn't want me here. Marge wants me away from you as far as possible.
Jeez, hold on. You make it sound like Marge is, I don't know, jealous or something. Like you and me, we're involved in some kind of... Hey, don't mind me. I'm babbling. I don't know what I'm saying.
Don't you?
Listen, maybe you're right. You should go. Leave us alone for a while. I mean, you'll just be over the hill at the Miramare.
All right. Fine. I'll book a room tonight. You've made your point.
Tom.
I'm mortified.
I'm disappointed.
I'm confused. I don't know what I've done to... I guess there's nothing more to be said. See you around, Tom. You think I should have asked him to leave?
I feel terrible about all of this.
I was a bit hard on him, wasn't I? I mean, he's not to blame for our problems.
Of course he's not. Do you think we have problems? A few hours ago, you wouldn't even admit to our having a relationship.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about? Insulting our relationship? Or the fact that we have one?
You know what I mean,
It's just...
I have a hard time talking about
talking
things like this in front of people.
He has a hard time talking about things like this. So what? So what? So what? So what? So what?
So? It's not a crime. When I first came to Italy, I picked Montebello at random. And there you were on the pier. Could you blame me for convincing myself I could never leave?
Never say never.
We have problems.
I believe in absolutes.
Her absolute sentimentality, for one thing. And what's wrong with him? What kind of man indulges this revolting, romantic excess? What he ought to do is he ought to slap her around a few times, and then we'd see what she was really made of.
I don't ask for your devotion, Marge, but I sure do like it.
I know that. I give devotion freely. I'm a devoted sort of gal.
That means the world to me.
And when he's done that, he's got to say, now, look here, Marge. I haven't got time for your hearts and your flowers. I got to put your feelings aside and think about my own pleasure.
I know I haven't made a lot of time for you lately. I know I've been selfish. And I know I've let Tom dictate, well, pretty much the course my days take. But the truth is, I wander. Lose myself. Always have. Always will. But usually I find someone to spin me around and point me in the right direction and send me on my way.
I thought I did that for you.
You did. You do. You can take more than one direction is all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, Marge, is I need my pleasure, and, well, Tom pleases me. If you force me to choose, Marge, I will never choose you.
You can't walk in two directions at once. It's physically
Are
impossible.
you asking me to choose? Marge, because you know I'll always choose you.
But you know I'd never ask.
So what's the problem?
So what's the problem? He wants to know what the problem is.
The problem is, you haven't kissed me in weeks.
The problem is, Marge, the thought of kissing you, the thought of my lips coming within an inch of that gaping hole of the mouth makes me want to vomit. No, not, absolutely not. No, 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 no! The thing is, I can't be everywhere at once. I have myself to blame. I waste time. Now I'm wasting time. But I can't help the way I look in his clothes. I can't help that they suit me more than they suit him. I mean, look at the cut of this jacket. I was born to wear this jacket. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I am entitled.
Dear Tom, stop. No word from you in over 5 weeks. Stop. We assume the worst. Stop. Thank you for your efforts. Stop. Your outward boat leaves Southampton 10 January. Stop. Regards. Stop.
Dear Tom, it breaks my heart to not have any news of Richard. Can he be so callous? Can you fail so miserably? I'm no better, but I'm not any worse. Though, in an effort to keep myself amused, I have purchased several wigs. I find I'm partial to ash blonde. Please don't bother to visit on your return. I'm sure you understand the difficulties. All best wishes.
Tommy, you wouldn't believe the frost, frozen stiff before Thanksgiving. The pipes have all burst, and my new neighbor wears a black velvet cape and lurks late at night in the hallway outside my door. Do you think I should invite him inside? Anyhow, would you mind terribly dropping my detective friend a line? He phoned ever so politely the other night just to say, you are the only resident of Shea Tenement he hasn't interrogated about this George McAlpin business, and he'd really like to have your statement. Whoever knew you'd be so important. Yours, ever sincerely, truly, and blah, blah, blah.
Tom, how dare you write the bank without my knowledge? It's a good thing Henry Foster is a dear friend and valued manager, else I'd never have known what you were up to. Really, Tom, what were you thinking when you suggested I might no longer be capable of handling my own financial decisions? I'm afraid Mr. Foster and a couple of discreet bank detectives will be greeting you at the pier upon your return. Regretfully and with bitter disappointment, I remain.
This is not the... Well, this isn't the dream. I can't. Oh, make it stop, please. Please push it. Stop it. I can't go back. I mustn't. I wither. I shriek. No, never, never, no.
3 days in Rome, 1 in San Remo. He sees the sights. I'll put him on the train. He's gone. It's not too much to ask.
I never said it was. I guess we have been pretty inhospitable to Tom these last few weeks, me especially.
I'm sure the trip to Rome will go a long ways towards putting things right between us.
Have fun, I guess. Though I don't like to think you can have fun without me. Bring me back some perfume from that shop.
I know. It's Stradivari.
You remembered, untouched.
See, I'm not a total loss.
And it wouldn't kill you to send me a postcard. Wish you were here. The weather's lousy, will suffice.
Gee, I don't know if I can handle that much script on one postcard. But for you, I'll do my best. See you around, March.
Richard, I wanted to tell it. Oh, this is so silly, but I can't seem to get the words out. Okay, here goes. Richard, I think I've fallen madly, wildly, ridiculously.
Save it for the postcards.
And so, the dream begins.
Hey. Oh, no.
There's never a taxi in Rome when you need one.
I don't
A lot
mind.
of hills, no taxis.
Well, it's a pleasant night.
No stars. I hate nights without
I
stars.
love clear night skies. It reminds me of being a kid in Springfield. Missouri's great for black nights.
Texas. San Antonio. You come from Texas, not Missouri. Hey, there's a taxi. Hey, taxi. It's like we were invisible.
Oh, what if we were?
I don't know. It's not possible anyway, so why waste your time supposing?
What if we were invisible? What if unseen we could partake in any behavior, however questionable, and never be held accountable for our actions?
Because a thing isn't seen doesn't mean it's not there.
That's where you're wrong. We can't see things we can't identify.
What's your hurting, boys?
Oh, go away. We're invisible.
I'm sure you are, darling. But Sophia sees you all the same. It's my curse.
How lucky us.
Or I could be invisible.
There's no taxis in this road. Let's move on.
Not so fast.
I sense a proposition floating its way towards you, Tom.
So tense. Loosen up, Bambino. Nothing to fear with Sophia. I like you. But him, I think you better do yourself a favor and lose him in a tourist trap.
You think I'm a tourist? Common whore? You want our money, don't you? You want our money? Tom!
Leave it be, Tom!
There's no reason to call the police, Sophia! They take no notice at all! Oh, come on, Richard! Oh, come on!
Che cosa si è, signorina?
I'm busy.
Are you sure? I'm happy to escort you to
She's fine.
I'd rather hear it from the lady if
No
you don't
problem.
mind.
I go now. This never touched me. Oh!
I've got to tell you, buddy, I don't like what I saw.
Forget it, it's a
The
misunderstanding.
guy had his hands around her throat. That's some misunderstanding.
Look, it's not what it seems. My friend here had a few too many. They got in an argument, things got a little out of hand. You saw there was no harm in the end.
Hey, if it isn't Ricky Greenleaf, well, I'll be damned if it isn't Ricky
Freddie
Greenleaf.
Miles!
And just when you least expect a crisis, the biggest one hits you square in the face. A big fat Freddie Miles fastball over the plate. And the goalie hits a home run.
Sweet Jesus, buddy, it's
Hold
been-
on now. You remember Tom. Tom Ripley. Hey, come here, Tom. You remember Freddie from the old days,
Of course
don't
I
you?
do. Freddie, it's been a long time.
I guess it must be because I don't remember you at
Tom
all.
was your backup goalie back
Oh,
at
I was
Schultz.
the
You
in a
remember
class behind you, a transfer from a Southern prep.
Yeah, which one?
Clarkville Hill? Yes, Clarkville Har, right outside San Antonio.
Huh. Can't say I know it. But I guess Texas ain't exactly my part of the world.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy, but I don't recall you at all.
I don't mind, I'm nondescript.
What do you say? We find ourselves in after-hours joint.
Absolutely.
You and me got tons of catching up to do before Tom and I hit San Remo in the morning. I still can't believe my eyes. Freddie Miles.
The truth is, I should have seen this coming. The world's too small. Freddie Miles is unavoidable. Freddie Miles is everywhere. And if it's not Freddie, it's some imbecilic school chum. And him. How dare he indulge in nostalgic drinking binges with men whose faces and names he barely remembers? Freddie Miles. His talent is laughable. He can't paint. I don't even wish to paint. And yet, my copies of his watercolors are far better, have far more subtlety than his originals. And I'm sure I'm better with his parents. I'm sure Mrs. Greenleaf wishes I could have been her son. And in fact, Ricky has no aptitude for any of the part he leads. Except for Marge, and of course he's welcome to that particular aptitude. Now me, make no mistake, I have all the talent in this family. Drifting makes me nervous.
Drifting's relaxing. Anyway, that's why I brought this along. Here's lunch.
What's this?
Ah, that's where I put it. Stradivari. Perfume from Marge. Her favorite.
I might get seasick.
Has it ever happened to you before?
No, but it might.
You can be such an old lady sometimes.
What does
son.
that mean?
Nothing, it's just...
Do you mean that sometimes I behave like a woman?
God, no, it's just an expression. I mean, Marge says you can be pretty picky. And when you get picky, your mouth crinkles up in a tight little smile, like her grandmother.
Well, Marge ought to mind her own business. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
Forget it, I have.
It's certainly monotonous out here.
Well, I don't know. Once you get to know the sea, you realize it never makes itself completely known. It always holds something back.
Oh, like Sophia.
Well, no. That's not what I meant.
Oh.
Look, Tom, we haven't said much about
Did
Sophia.
we say much about her?
We were...
Well, we were drunk.
I was drunk.
Like you told Freddie. We were drunk. I was a little rude. End of story.
I invented that story.
Did you?
Of course I did. What was I supposed to tell Freddie? Tom probably would have strangled her if you hadn't shown him
You
off.
were drunk. Oh, get that. Thank you. We were drunk, like you told Freddie. And in saying so, you made it fact. The rest is unimportant. What's done is done.
What will you do when you get back?
Oh, I expect there's a dealer or two in Milan. I'll phone
no,
for it.
I mean when you get back home. To New York.
Oh, New York. Yes.
Look, I know it's not your area or anything, and if it's a problem, just say so, but I thought as long as you're going back, you might as well take a few of my paintings along with you.
You don't have to give me gifts, Ricky.
I thought you could sell them for me. Marge says people would snap them up. Watercolors are big, she says, and it's about time I started thinking about my future.
Why ruin the present by worrying about the future?
Why stand still waiting for life to take you by surprise? You gotta make plans. Anyway, will you take the paintings?
What if I said I wasn't going back?
But you are going back.
What if I said I wasn't?
You've made your plans already, Tom.
I never planned. It lacks imagination. So if I said I wasn't going back, if I said I would stay with you, what then?
I'm gonna propose to Marge.
Oh.
I don't know, it just occurred to me. Well, I'm not getting any younger.
Yes.
You could be a little enthusiastic for me, buddy.
Of course. Congratulations. I'm sure she'll be very happy.
I mean, why put off the inevitable? I think Marge and me have been headed this way for some time. We have this joke, Marge and me, that we'll live happily ever after, like they do in stories, only we'll do it mostly undercover. Get it? Like, you know, under the sheets. Undercover. Well, it's not important. In a way, I have you to thank for opening my eyes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've made me think long and hard about the choices I've made. Who knows, maybe I'll even learn to like my dad in a shipyard. Maybe Marge and my mom will become bridge partners. Look, if you feel the boat drift in any direction you don't like, just take this and push it a little around like this. And there you go. Right as rain. Okay?
Do you trust me, Ricky?
Hey, sure, you're a pal.
So you would tell me things you wouldn't tell Marge, for instance. You trust me that much?
Well, Marge, that's different. That's personal. Friends are one thing, but Marge, you know what I mean.
I'm sorry to say I do. I doubt very much whether your mother and Marge will become bosom pals.
Why not?
Because your mother's dying. A terrible cancer, quite inoperable. You really shouldn't talk with your mouth full. It's quite disgusting.
What did you say?
Would you repeat what you just said?
Certainly, a terrible cancer, quite inoperable. Your father's given up on you, so I wouldn't bother harboring any residual feelings about the family business. He's probably gonna find a cousin or a nephew to train up or a total stranger. He hardly pays attention to your mother anymore. It's very sad.
Well, Tom, I don't know what kind of sick joke you think this is, but I haven't seen you in years. Not since school. You haven't seen my family in years. You don't know a thing about us.
Well, before I forget to mention it, I don't even know you. I met you once at a wedding. I was drawn to you. I didn't know why then, but I know now. It's funny how you, your family, all of you were so eager to know me. I see it's fate. I don't believe in all that. Do you?
Well, you arrogant, I could tear you to pieces.
No histrionics. If your pathetic watercolors harbor that kind of energy. Now, watch me.
I'm gonna break your neck! Stop, please! Stop! Stop, please grab my hand! Stop, please!
Hello, Marge. Hello, Marge. Shall, Marge. No, that's not it. Good morning, Marge. It's Ricky. It's Richard. No, that's not it. It's me. No, I have to get it right. Look, I'm finished with you, Marge. I'm bored with Montebello, and I'm not coming back. I'm so sorry, Marge. I'm awfully sorry. But the truth is, I don't love you anymore. I can't love you because I love, well, I can't live with you because I'm living with. It's very simple, Marge. Tom and I, we're traveling together. The world is our. No, I have to get it right. Look, I don't want to hurt you, Marge. Let's part on good terms. I want that more than anything. Well, Tom wants that. No last kiss, Marge? Well, whatever you want. Tom said you'd be strong. Perfection. The boat was problematic, Ricky, but its disposals did take my mind off the horror of the water. So, I do have one thing to thank you for. I never thought I'd learn to swim. Perfection. The dream transforms.
Want some toast, Tom? It burned a hell of a hole through the pier, but fortunately the bread's okay.
Want some toast, Tom? I can hardly believe my luck, and then you speak the unspeakable.
Where's Marge? Did we leave her at the pier?
Did we leave her at the pier? Have you lost your mind? The snakes got Marge, the sea got Marge, the pier collapsed, and the tide flushed Marge away. Don't you remember?
Oh, sure, I remember. The G isn't quite right.
What? What's wrong? Is it the loop? Is it... Oh, no, it's the slant.
It's too much to the right.
Huh.
You see, there's no break between the G and the R, and then there's a slight break between the N and the L, and then after that...
I know. The rest of the signature is virtually illegible.
Excellent. Again.
affection. Tell me now.
Without you, life would be meaningless.
No, not meaningless. That's excessive.
Empty. Life would be empty.
That's better. What else?
I was wrong to question your motives. I see now that Marge was a bad idea.
A mistake. Say it.
Marge was a mistake. You were right.
I am right. I'm always right. And?
You are genius personified.
Wise and witty and worldly and winning.
Because you are me.
Because I am you. And this is the happiest moment of my life. Well, don't stand there like that. What are you waiting for?
I watch. I wait in game.
In case what?
In case Ricky phones, I'd like to be here. Longibello has always felt like a home to me. To us. He said, well, we said, before he left, we vowed to make a home here. Together, someday.
In case I'm needed to serve. I'm your man's service, no?
I despise literalism. Go on. I don't need you today.
Does Senor Greenleaf forget his own name?
Take it away.
As Senor wishes.
3 days, he said. He gave no indication of this. Oh, Tom, did he say anything?
Oh, I almost forgot. Senor left this floating in the bath.
My ring.
See, you're lucky it not fall down the drain into the dirty bathwater.
Yes, I'm lucky for many things. Give me my ring now.
We discuss everything. Not just big things, but silly things. You know, like what color sheets he should buy, or whether we should get our wine from Morelli's or from a wholesaler. So it's funny. He never mentioned this Massini fellow.
Massimo. He's an important watercolorist, and Ricky jumped at the chance to apprentice with him. I wasn't aware that you and Ricky bought your wine and sheets together.
We didn't. We don't. I only meant... Oh, what's the use? I don't know why Ricky sent you here to do his dirty work. Just tell me directly, Tom. I won't mind.
I'll tell you what. I've only come because he's concerned for you, Marge.
You don't have to sweeten this pill for me, Tom.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the messenger.
You must think me pretty foolish. I don't blame you, but it's obvious, even to me, what's going on. Ricky and I, we have fun together. I'll be honest, we're not deliriously in love, but who is? It's a good, solid fit. And then you come along. Suddenly, we're not so happy, Ricky and me. We bicker. I'm jealous and petty and defensive. I give him a ridiculous ultimatum he can't possibly keep. He comes down with some distance from us and sees sense when you two go off to Rome. He sends you here to set me right. He's a coward, I suppose. But for heaven's sakes, Tom, just tell me and put me out of my misery. If you don't say it, I'll always hold out hope.
Honestly, Marge, you're not making any sense.
You're both queer. Like I said, it's obvious. I'm not angry.
Oh, I see. Oh, Ricky picked you up this from Rome. Well, aren't you going to open it?
So you're just going to ignore all of this?
Ricky wants you to have 3 paintings of your choice. The rest of them will be put up at the house and the furniture to be sold.
Don't torture me, Tom. If you have any compassion, you'll just...
What? Dignify your accusation with a response? Jealousy is one thing, Marge, but hysteria is quite another.
That isn't fair.
Isn't it? Look, I do feel for you. You know as well as I that Ricky's impulsive, but I'm sure he hasn't forgotten you. I'm sure he'll be back someday. Well, go on, open your gift. Do what you up.
I know you're right. I knew he has good reasons for his actions. For goodness, the Stradivari, he remembers.
I said it was your favorite.
It is. What's different? There's something different about you, Tom. Is it your hair? I don't know. I'm tired. Do you think he'll phone sometime or write?
I think there's a definite possibility. Of course, I can't speak for Ricky.
No, of course you can't. I don't mean to put you on the spot. It's just, I love that man with all my heart, and I will pursue him to the ends of the earth if I think there's the remotest possibility he feels the same way. I will get down on my knees, throw open my arms, shout from rooftops, jump from joy, whatever it takes. But there has to be the possibility for love, for us. Please tell me. He speaks to you about us. He trusts you.
I'm sorry, Marge. He's never mentioned you in that way.
I'm sorry. You know, for what I said, that was uncalled for.
Listen, forget it. I have.
No, I mean it. I stepped way over the line, and there's no excuse for that. You know, I used to laugh at jealous old women. Now look at me.
Goodbye, Marge.
That ring. That's Ricky's ring.
Yes, it is.
He doesn't remove it, not even for baths.
I admired it one day. He gave it to me.
He wouldn't do that.
Oh, I think we just discovered how little you really do know, Ricky. When you're done here, will you drop the keys at the Miramare?
I always stay in Ricky's house when he's not here.
But the house is to be sold. Ricky said so. As of today. Of course, I couldn't expect you to have known that. Oh, not being in touch with Ricky. How insensitive of me.
The Miramare is out of my way. You take them. Tell Ricky I'll wait for him if that's what he wants.
Speaking as a friend, perhaps you consider returning to the States.
Please don't speak as my friend. You know, I think it is your hair. New party, isn't it? Doesn't become you at all.
She can't touch me. Well, not at all. It's a shame I could teach her a thing or two about cruelty, the sheer ease of it. Show her there's a silver lining in every cloud. Nothing to it. A practice round. But I don't want any more practice. I want to play. Our train pulls in and I can hardly contain my glee. My adrenaline, as it rushes through my nerves, well, it anticipates its most crucial test. Oh, my hand already poised above the dotted line. I jump from that train. I push through the crowd, I gather speed, and I run down to this platform. I race towards this place, this time, the moment of truth.
Passaporto?
My passport, certainly.
Grazie. Signor Greenleaf.
Oh, you're welcome, Ricky.
I beg your pardon?
Never mind, non importa.
Would you like it in all 1,000 lire? No, Signor
That would
Greenleaf.
be gorgeous. Thank you. Fate is on my side. Here's why. If I was not meant to overcome every obstacle put in my path, well, why was it so easy? The pen was held by Ricky's hand, and it still is now. I see him at every cafe, at every hotel, under every umbrella I dodge, into every narrow street. He hops on every bus behind me, collects my tickets on every train I find myself drawn to. If I stumble on my way to cash his check, he helps me to my feet. He whispers a caress in my ear, a comfort. You are not alone. You are not, Tom.
You are aware, Signor Greenleaf, that this withdrawal leaves you with very little in this account.
Oh, don't worry. There's plenty more where that came from. Goodbye, Ricky. See you soon.
I beg you.
Oh, I know. He begs my pardon. Wonders never cease. Next stop, American Express. Oh, si poste per me, il mio nome è Richard Greenleaf.
Si, Signor Greenleaf. Much post for you.
What a relief to hear from you, son. That ditzy girl, what's her name, Sherwood? Phones from Montebello last month in a panic. Said you'd up and disappeared to Rome, and it just didn't feel right to her the way you'd gone. Honestly, I'm glad you moved on from her, Richard. Tom Ripley feels she's entirely too dependent on your goodwill. By the way, pleased to hear you get on so well with Tom. He seems to have worked wonders for your morale, and frankly, son, your manners have improved considerably under his tutelage. Your mother loves your thoughtful gifts. I haven't seen her smile like this in years. But I wish you hadn't spent so much money on it. Anyways, we're off to Cuba, or the Bahamas, or some godforsaken sweltering place where your mother insists on wintering. Keep in touch, and remember, I'll hold you to that promise of coming home this summer.
I won't be home this summer, Dad.
I won't be home at all, Dad. Oh, well.
I wear it everywhere, darling. I never take it off. Oh, 3 months since we left New York and counting. I wear it to breakfast, to the beach, to the casino, and to my bed. At first, your father was charmed by it, but you know him. Spend a little time in the heat, and he loses his sense of humor. Of course, I know I look ridiculous, but it doesn't matter. From the moment I touched your delectable gift, my health improved, and with each passing day, I feel a new strength gathering. Your father thinks it has to do with your letters. Oh, and yes, of course they help. Who knew you were such a prolific writer and so witty? You get it from me, I'll have you know. Your father's practically illiterate, he's so inarticulate. But really, darling, believe me, it's the scarf. When you've tried as many crackpot cures as I have, you can smell what works and what doesn't.
Then why can't you sniff this one out, Mother?
I do believe Mother's losing her marbles.
Dearest Ricky, though it pains me to admit this, you are right. Time away from me, from us, clearly does you a world of good. Your letters reveal a focus and sensitivity that, frankly, darling, I haven't seen from you since we met. I'm so proud of you, Ricky. So happy for your artistic breakthrough. That little watercolor you sent me of the Colosseum is breathtaking, and if you don't mind me saying so, I think it displays a new maturity in your work.
Cal doesn't know the difference between one watercolor and the next. I tried to imitate your style, Ricky. Really, I did. It's just truly difficult to be truly untalented. Everything I touch turns to gold. See? Even Marge.
Marge. Marge? Marge! Marge! Why can't I say what I want to say? Why won't the words come?
Because the words aren't there. Because the words are mine.
Well, darling, Fausto's waiting on court, and I guess I better get out there before he starts without me. He's got a wicked backhand, you know. He sends his love, as do I. The only thing that could possibly make me happier is knowing when you'll be back, when you'll be home. Take care, my darling. Write when you can, and please do send more work. It's such a joy to receive. With all my love, I am as ever. Fausto? Is that you?
Marge. Marge!
Look at me.
Look at you.
I was sorry to kill you, Ricky. At first. Really, I was really fond of you. But the more I learned about your habits, the more I'm convinced I did you a favor in that boat that day. People love you, Ricky. They adore you now. And tell me, who's made that possible? I haven't lost you, Ricky. You're just struggling to keep up with me. Can that really be the telephone? It's such a common means of communication and... Well, anyway, who has this number? Shall I answer it or shall I let it go? Dangerous decision. Delicious. Pronto, sono Greenleaf.
You're a hard man to pin down, Greenleaf, I'll give you that. Making folks write to you, care of American Express. Unlisted phone number.
Who is this?
Now, come on, Ricky, you haven't been out of the loop all that long. It's me, Freddie. Freddie Miles? Long lost so-and-so you bumped into not that long ago?
Freddie, of course. How did you find me?
Don't sound so thrilled, buddy. I'm around the corner. Invite me up.
Freddie, it's not a good time. Can we meet later, say 3 at something? We can meet at a hotel bar. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Look, I've got to talk to you now, Ricky. Like I said, I'm just down the street. I'll be 5 minutes.
Okay, if you insist.
Now that's what I want to hear. Stay put, friend. I'm on my way.
It was bound to happen. Bumbling fool of a man, always rooting around in someone else's business. It's a test. Well, clearly. But failure's simply not in my cards.
Oh, I didn't know you were here. Where's Ricky? Back there? Hey, Ricky! Hey, Greenleaf! Get in here!
He's out.
That's impossible. He's expecting me.
Oh, I know, he called away. Or he was called away suddenly. He asked me to apologize.
Okay, where's he going to? I'll catch up with him. We spoke only a few minutes ago.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not in the habit of keeping tabs on Ricky.
I didn't ask you if you were. Just want to know if he told you where he was going.
Well, no, he didn't.
You know, I find that pretty strange. I mean, you're having a conversation with someone, the phone rings, he says, sorry, buddy, gotta go, and he's gone.
That's exactly what happened. He was in a hurry. I didn't ask any questions. You look like you could use a drink. Scotch and soda, right?
I'm not thirsty. I guess Marge was right. This is a pretty nice setup you've got here.
Mm.
Nice girl. Met her not so long ago in, what's that dopey town called? Montrebello. I thought I might catch Ricky down there. She told me all about you.
What do you mean?
Well, Ricky's been keeping a low profile, avoiding most of his chums, doesn't call a soul. That's never been his style. Common sense dictates there's got to be a pretty good reason for a fella changing his behaviors like that. So I figure, what the hell? I'll drop in to see what makes him tick these days. And I think I've seen it.
Marge ought to keep her ill-informed opinions to herself.
It's got nothing to do with Marge.
She told you I was living with Ricky.
I said no such thing. I said she thought you had a pretty nice setup. That's different. Are you living here?
I am. For the moment, I have my own room.
You know, that's funny, because I ran into this kid downstairs who says Ricky lives here alone and has done for months. Says he never gets visitors.
Don't think I'd rely on local boys for information of that sort.
I didn't say it was a boy.
Well, didn't you? Well, I assumed. I mean, it's not an unreasonable assumption.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, matter of fact, it was a boy. And he works for Ricky. Silvio, you do know him, don't you?
I've met him once.
He's never met you.
Did you ask him?
Well, no.
Now you're making assumptions. The truth is, I've only been here a short while, so he doesn't yet know I'm staying here. But I have met him. Ran into Ricky about a month ago. Ricky was shopping for summer suits, and Silvio was carrying his packages. I'm sure it was not a particular memorable occasion for him. Would you be more comfortable staying at a local cafe? I can recommend a good one for
I
you.
think I'll stay, thanks. That's a nice jacket.
Oh, thank you. It's hand-stitched silk and wool.
It's also Ricky's fraternity jacket.
Oh, yes, he graciously allowed me to borrow it.
I guess his graciousness knows no bounds as you're wearing his shoes and slacks and belt.
Shirt as well. My luggage was stolen at the railway station.
You've got an answer for everything.
I aim to please. Would you like to leave a message for Ricky?
Herbert Greenleaf sends his regards.
Oh.
Does Ricky know his parents sent you here to bring him back home?
Well, yes, he's aware of it.
Ricky Greenleaf wouldn't give you the time of day if he knew that.
You haven't spent time with Ricky in years. How could you possibly presume to know what he likes?
People don't change, they just get worse over time.
Well, that's where you're wrong. I'm here, aren't I?
You know, I think I will go wait in that
I
cafe.
think that might be for the best. Well, let's see. Ged is an excellent choice. Just take a ride out of the building, left at the street light, third on you come to. I'm sure Ricky won't be too far along. I'll send him along.
Sure you will. Oh, by the way, ran into some old choke buddies a couple of weeks back, and I was just wondering, which house did you stay in at school?
Well, let me think. Isn't that funny? I can't remember it. It's at the tip of my tongue, though. I guess I blocked it out momentarily. Wasn't the happiest time of my life.
Yeah, funny how that happens. Maybe I can help you. Was it a brick house or a clapboard?
Brick. Definitely brick.
It would have, well, that would have been Greenhall House.
Greenhall, yes, that's it.
Well, I was in the Farrell House. That'll account for it.
Account for what?
Told you the last time. I don't remember you at all. Not from assembly, not from soccer,
I was
not
in the
from
class
anywhere.
behind you. We wouldn't have shared
Can't find
assemblies.
you in the yearbooks.
Never photographed. Lifelong aversion to cameras.
There you go again with the easy answers.
I like to think I'm helpful.
Mr. Greenleaf told me how he met you again. After so many years, how he remembered you and Gull that day, all bloody and bullied. Quite a story.
Don't like to be reminded of it. You'd understand.
I sure do. Especially as I was the one in that goal. And you know what else? There is no Greenhall House at Choate.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So maybe you want to tell me what the hell's going on here before I lose my patience and call the cops.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't even think about doing
wouldn't?
that.
Well, I don't care what you do. The more I think about it, the more it seems like a very fine idea.
Poor dumb Freddy. If you only been thirsty and gone to that local cafe like I told you.
I don't really know what you're babbling on about, but you better start talking something useful, like where I can find Ricky.
Well, Freddy,
right now.
I'm afraid Ricky's dead. Or drowned. Or should I say bludgeoned and then drowned.
What kind of sick joke?
Oh, it's
are
not
you
funny.
trying-
I assure you it was hard work. You'll be pleased to know that his brilliant efforts at the wing position during his formative years made it quite difficult for me to actually, finally kill him. His lung capacity was truly amazing.
What are you trying? Don't give me that. You haven't got that.
Give me more credit for that. You really mustn't like me, Freddy. If you ever doubted I didn't have the guts to kill you, you certainly can't doubt it now. Poor dumb Freddy. You let some misplaced, sentimental notion of friendship kill you. And look where that got you now. I could have saved you the trouble. Ricky barely remembered you. Look where it got you. Look what's you! You're bleeding all over my carpet! Look! Stupid! It's your own stupid fault! You end up dead! I never lose my, no, never make me what, please don't make me safe, please, I mustn't say, please, no. Disposing of Freddie Miles was a nightmare. Even in death, he's a problem. But fortunately, he had a car lazy and unimaginative men always drive. By the time I managed to drag his carcass outside, it's pitch black. How do I know I won't see a soul along the way? I simply do. I ask myself, what is the most fitting death for Freddie Miles? What does he deserve? And then it occurs to me, plain as day. Oh, he's viciously stabbed and murdered in a robbery. That's what he deserves. And this is how it shall be. I'll take his wallet, his keys, and dump it behind a headstone along the Appian Way. He'll be found within weeks, days, hours. No worry, it's unimportant. That's the dignified part. Ricky stops writing letters to Marge, to his parents. Oh, is it a coincidence? Or does it have something to do with Freddie Miles's disappearance? Who can say for sure? Speculation is useless. It's better to wait for answers. They'll find you. Police involvement is inevitable.
And that was this past Tuesday, Signor Ripley, or the previous Tuesday?
Ripley, the previous Tuesday, yes.
Yes, this makes sense. The last time you saw Signor Greenleaf was the evening of Signor Miles's murder. Did you know him well?
Freddie? Oh, no. No, in fact, I've never met him. Hold on. Yes, I've met him once. Me and Ricky was in the Rome and we ran into Freddie.
Yes, the friend of Signor Greenleaf, Signorina Sherwood, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes?
She tells me that you and Signor Greenleaf and Signor Miles all went to the same school, but she must be mistaken, no?
No, we definitely went to the same school.
Then how can it be that you and Signor Miles never met before you, ran into each other with Signor Greenleaf? If you went to the same school, how can this be?
I was in the class behind Freddie and Ricky, and, well, I saw them, of course, but never met. Well, as I said before, there wasn't much interaction between the two different grades at this school. Oh, you don't think Ricky has anything to do with Freddie's? Well, I don't even like to say it.
I would not like to say it either.
But you're thinking of Ricky as a suspect.
I would not wish that on a friend,
well,
Signor Ripley.
All I meant to say is, well, Freddie's been murdered, and Ricky's disappeared, and I believe there's a link, though I refuse to understand why.
You seem not at all concerned with the fate of Signor Greenleaf.
Of course I am. No one wants to think of their friends as criminals.
Perhaps Signor Greenleaf is hurt, suffering from, who knows, amnesia. Perhaps he is dead. You don't seem to have considered that possibility.
Oh my, no. No, I hadn't. A cigarette?
Grazie, no. I'm the only man in all Rome who does not enjoy a good smoke.
What a pity.
The case, however, is very beautiful. May I?
Of course.
Cases are my specialty. This one is, yes, very unusual, very old. Lovely detailing, an absolute gem.
Oh.
I bet you picked us up at auction, no? If you don't mind my asking, what was the cost?
50 or 100 maybe. I don't know. It was a while back. I'm not very good with that sort of detail.
Well, I have heard of bargain at auction, but this is, how you say, a steal.
Lucky, I guess.
Luck, yes, makes... Ah, what have we here? In the corner of the case, a very delicate engraving. Some initials I can't quite make out, but, yes, I see it now. R-H-G.
A silversmith's mark.
No, that I find already. These initials, I am sure they are personalized. For the owner of the case.
How interesting.
Oh, no. The case is very old and possibly had many owners, but maybe. No, here, senor. Take your case. Grazie.
I don't mean to be rude, but I am late for an appointment, to tell you the truth.
This is a very strange turn of phrase, to tell you the truth. I find when people say it, they mean nothing of the sort. Yes, I thought I had it written down somewhere. Herbert Greenleaf. Yes, I thought it might be.
Ricky's father.
I have never met him, just several telephone conversations. A decent man, honest. You have met him, no?
I've met him once or twice. What about him?
R.H.G. Richard Herbert Greenleaf. Was this Signor Greenleaf's full name?
I haven't the slightest idea.
But it is possible, yes, given his father's name.
I suppose so. Why don't you simply phone Herbert Greenleaf and ask him?
I shall. The initials on your case, Signor Ingley. Is it a coincidence?
What is your problem with my name? Of course it's a coincidence. What would it be other than a coincidence? You said yourself, it's hundreds of years old.
You are a lucky man.
Not especially.
I am lucky. You said it yourself not
So
5
I
minutes
said
ago.
I was lucky. What of it?
Luck follows coincidence and vice versa. That is all.
Oh.
In any case, my inquiry is complete. It seems clearer to me that Signor Miles' luck ran out when he last came into contact with Signor Greenleaf. It is difficult to draw another conclusion. However hard I look for one.
I'm sure Ricky will turn up and all will be explained.
Do you think?
Sooner or later, in some circumstance or other.
Are you planning a trip?
I am, yes, Venice.
Oh, Venezia! You must try Venetian beaches.
I'm not one for beaches or water for that matter.
Then Venice is an unfortunate choice, no?
Not really. One needs never to step in Venetian waters. Boats hide a multitude of sins.
Still, it is a pity to fear the water. Without it, we do not exist. How you say, I'll be in touch, Signor Ripley?
But he isn't in touch because he finds nothing. No Ricky, no Massimo, nothing. Every direction he takes, he finds a dead end. And every direction I take, I find an open door, an answered question. Of course, it is a nuisance not being able to cash any more of those checks. But for every action, there's an equal and positive reaction. Isn't that right? Anyway, in the end, I can't complain. Venice is cold, Ricky. Glorious. No chance of discovery. Anonymous. I'll miss you. Despite your shortcomings, you're good company. I might get seasick.
Has it ever happened to you before?
No, but it might.
I won't let you be sick. I'll protect you, Tom.
I'd like that. Oh, I love the sea. You've made me love the sea.
Tom, this is kinda... It's really awkward, but I gotta ask. I gotta take this chance.
Ask me anything.
I mean, why put off the inevitable? I think you and me have been headed this way for some time. We have this joke, you and me, that we'll live happily ever after, mostly undercover.
We do.
Who knows, maybe I'll even learn to like my dad and his shipyard. Maybe Marge and... No, I mean, maybe you and my mom will become bridge partners.
I doubt very much whether me and your mother will become bridge partners. I didn't like to tell you this, Ricky, but your mother, she's died. A terrible cancer, quite inoperable, and your father's given up on you, so I wouldn't bother harboring any residual feelings about the family business. I'm afraid I'm all that you have left.
That's as it should be. Which leads me back to what I wanted to ask you before. I just don't know how.
Are you asking me to marry you?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Then don't marry each other. What a preposterous suggestion.
I love you. I've always loved you. From the moment I saw you. From the moment we met. What have I done? I've ruined everything.
Yes, you have. What will you do now?
There's nothing left to do. You've been so good to me, Tom, and I've repaid your kindness with weakness. Dishonesty. Tell me, please, how can I help myself?
Through pain, misery, and deep, deep suffering. Will you do this for me?
Yes. For you. Always.
I wish there was another way.
This is the only way. Watch me, Tom. Watch me swim away.
There you go. You're swimming. You're fine.
Watch me, Tom. Keep watching me.
I couldn't have stopped you, even if I wanted to.
We always thought he was so untalented. But suicide? I wasn't expecting it. None of us were, I suppose.
No, I suppose not. I'd always hoped that Ricky would turn up one day.
I know how much he meant to you, Tom.
He had a soft spot for you. Anyways, he left it for us to decide what you got. We decided to give you the lot.
I can't let you do that.
You can, and you will. But I don't begin to fathom the reasons for Richard's behavior. It's hard to believe he killed a man.
I believe Ricky was a good man, Mr. Greenleaf.
Thank you for that.
How could I forget to tell you? That awful little friend of yours. There was a terrible scandal with the police. Some kind of tax fraud, and well, they arrested him for it. Good Lord, and all the papers said his trial was the most sensational in memory. His deception was that good, but not good enough, evidently. Because they locked him up for so many years, he'll be dead before he gets out. Tom, honestly, Tom, you exasperate me. Have you heard a single word I've said to you? Tom! Oh.
And so, I find myself alone, finally, blissfully alone. Listen, can't you hear the silence? Can't you hear the motion of the silence? The water, that was easiest to block out, that went first. Other noises, animals, music, people, it's much harder, but I'm working on it. I know I'll get there in the end. Already, there are these moments. Listen, it's exquisite. The silence, this peace.